Well, let's put it this way. Every hostage just about that's been released was released because of me. None were released in the Biden administration. None.
Oh. Not only were hostages released in the Biden administration, more hostages were released.
Will you support an attack, Israeli attack on Iran if Iran will not have a deal? If Iran will continue with their ballistic missiles and also nuclear weapons?
Oh, he's
if
pressing.
they will continue with the missiles, yes. The nuclear, fast.
Fast.
Okay. One will be yes, absolutely. The other was, we'll do it immediately.
What's the difference? Yes, absolutely. And for the other one, fast, immediately. What the fuck? Breaking news.
Blake Who says Israel plays both sides, always has, always will.
Which sides?
Putting down, oh, they put down the barrier. They put down the barrier. Oh my gosh, and they let them in. Wow.
When they mean withdrawals, they mean just Gaza. Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Oh. And then they shut the door. Oh, there's Trump. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's all happening. It's all happening.
I'm so excited. What energy. Yes, Al-Haya is more access aligned, yeah.
Look at this. Look at this. There is President Trump. Second meeting in 2 days. Yesterday it was Zelensky. Today is Netanyahu. Here we go.
Tomorrow is Zelensky. Okay. Is that what he said? Did he say tomorrow was Zelensky?
Does anybody recognize this man? Not too many people. They've been very fair, actually, for last 3 days.
An ungodly amount of gold. God.
President Trump, are you going to have a green light for another attack in Iran?
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Let's just smile awkwardly, guys. Come on.
To phase 2 of the peace plan for Gaza.
As quickly as we can, but there has to be a disarmament. You know that we have to disarm with Hamas. So one of the things we'll talk about certainly, but there has to be a disarming of Hamas.
Oh God.
Otherwise, very quickly. Yeah.
Can you say anything more about the explosion in Venezuela that you mentioned in radio?
Remember, there's a big old yellow line in Gaza, right? Israel controls just over half of the territory right now. The IDF does, and they're still encountering fighters holed up in tunnels every now and then. But this is the yellow line. There are still people occasionally. Someone emerges from the tunnels, or people cross, or like at one point it was a couple of kids that crossed and got shot. Right. Apparently, there's still an investigation going on for why that happened. RIP. The entire population of Gaza, more or less, is on one side of the yellow line. They're on Hamas's side of the yellow line. So the effort to disarm Hamas, is going to be a military conflict in half of the space of the Gaza Strip, less than half. You understand? Like, that's really bad. That's really fucking deadly. That's going to be fucking horrible. You've just got Hamas and the entire fucking Gazan population concentrated into half of the space. And Trump, probably the kind of guy who's going to, he's not going to do the same kind of ifs and buts that Biden was doing. He's not going to withhold big fucking bombs and all this shit. So that's like your worst case scenario is Khalil al-Haya gets appointed leader of Hamas in Qatar, and Netanyahu gets Trump's blessing to finish the job, quote unquote. That is going to be pretty fucking nasty.
Did the military do that? Can you share more details about
Well, it
that?
doesn't matter, but there was a major explosion in the dock area where they load the boats up with drugs. They load the boats up with drugs, so we hit all the boats, and now we hit the area. It's the implementation area. That's where they implement, and that is no longer around.
Is that the only strike that the U.S. has done?
I don't want to comment.
Mr. President.
President Trump.
Ron Jennifer News.
Yesterday there was an explosion overnight and the Russians say that Ukraine tried to hit the residence of President Putin. Do you have any information?
No, I don't know about it, actually, and I don't, I just heard about it, actually, but I don't know about it. No.
Did you speak with
That would be too bad. That would not be good.
What was the outcome of your telephone call with President Putin this
I
morning?
had a very good talk this morning. I waited till this morning because it was pretty late by the time we finished, like 2:30 in Russia, 2:30 in the morning. And we had a very good talk. We spoke at 8 o'clock in the morning our time, and it was a very productive talk. I mean, we have a few very thorny issues, as you can imagine. He knows about thorny issues probably better than anybody in the world, but it's working out. We have a couple of issues that we're going to get.
Do you think they coordinated their colors? I didn't know. I thought do I just have a really bad memory, or is why do I always imagine Netanyahu in a blue tie? Is it because of Likud, Israeli flag? Yeah, I feel like I always envision him in a blue tie. Maybe do you think he red ties up just for Trump? Because he doesn't want Trump to think he's like a Democrat. Well, I guess he rocks both, maybe. Gosh. I mean, that's a very known thing about Bibi, though. He plays the Trump game. He's good at the Trump game.
Resolved, hopefully, and if we get them resolved, you're going to have peace. You're going to have Ukraine. They're losing 26,000 soldiers a month. Can you believe it? A month, 26,000 young, beautiful soldiers, and plus some people in Kiev, and relatively small, but a lot, still people, and it's a lot of people. But 26,000 soldiers were killed last month. Yes, please.
President Trump, are you going to allow Turkish forces, or do you expect Turkish forces to be stationed in Gaza?
So I have a great relationship with President Erdogan.
You can see the lean. I can't unsee the lean that he's doing now.
And we'll be talking about it. And if it's good, I think that's good. And a lot will be having to do with Bibi. We're going to be talking about that. But Turkey's been great. And he's been...
That hand motion. What hand motion?
Last month. Yes, please.
President Trump, are you going to allow Turkish forces, or do you expect Turkish forces to be stationed in Gaza?
So I have a great relationship with President Erdogan, and we'll be talking about it. And if it's good, I think that's good. And a lot will be having to do with Bibi. We're going to be talking about that. But Turkey's been great, and he's been, excellent as far as I'm concerned. I don't know about you. To me, he's been very good.
Can you guarantee that?
Sure. Yes.
Mr. President,
Can you tell me a little bit about your relationship with Prime Minister Netanyahu and how important it is for you to see him be pardoned by...
Ooh, I have a great relationship.
Look,
tell him you have a great relationship.
Prime Minister, he's done a phenomenal job. He's taken Israel through a very dangerous period of trauma. Israel with other people might not exist right now, if you want to know the truth. That's a pretty big statement, but it's true. I feel that. You had the wrong prime minister. Israel right now would not exist because they were met with a force the likes of which very few countries could have handled. And we worked together, and we were extremely victorious, to put it mildly. Now I hear that Iran is trying to build up again, and if they are, we're going to have to knock them down.
Oh, shit.
We'll knock the hell out of them, but hopefully that's not happening.
He likes that.
I heard Iran wants to make a deal. If they want to make a deal, that's much smarter. They could have made a deal the last time before we went through, a big attack on them, and they decided not to make the deal. They wish they made that deal. So I think, again, they should make a deal. They want to make a deal, but sometimes that doesn't happen. Yeah, please.
Mr. Trump,
He's such a fucking retard. Oh,
W.
God.
Melech 24 News Israel. Would you support the overthrow of the Iranian regime?
Who?
Iranian regime.
I'm not going to talk about overthrow of a regime. It's They've got a lot of problems that are in. They have tremendous inflation.
Oh,
Their economy is bust.
He's been briefed. They briefed him on the inflation. Fuck.
The economy is no good. And I know that people aren't...
400 Bidens. Is that what he's going to call it? They're inflated by 400 Bidens.
So happy, but don't forget, every time they have a riot or somebody forms a group, little or big, they start shooting people. You know, they kill people. And the people tend to... I've watched this for years. There's tremendous...
Isn't that what you want to do for sedition? For people who say that you shouldn't obey unlawful orders? Huh.
Intent. They form 100,000, 200,000 people. All of a sudden, people start getting shot. And that group disbands pretty quickly. So I've watched it for years. They're vicious, vicious people, yeah.
Mr. President, will you support an attack, Israeli attack on Iran if Iran will not have a deal? If Iran will continue with their ballistic missiles and also nuclear weapons?
Oh, he's
if
pressing.
They will continue with the missiles, yes. The nuclear, fast.
Fast.
Okay. One will be yes, absolutely. The other was, we'll do it immediately.
Mr. President, one of
What's the difference? Yes, absolutely. And for the other one, fast, immediately. What the fuck? High-speed nuclear rail. What's the difference between those two things?
All of a sudden, people start getting shot. And that group disbands pretty quickly.
One more for the boys.
I've watched it for years. They're vicious, vicious people, yeah.
Mr. President, will you support an attack, Israeli attack on Iran if Iran will not have a deal? If Iran will continue with their ballistic missiles and also nuclear weapons?
If they will continue with the missiles, yes. The nuclear, fast. Okay. One will be yes, absolutely. The other was, we'll do it immediately.
What if he mixes the two up? He said he's going to do what? If they do the missiles, then absolutely we'll strike them. And if they do nuclear, then fast. What if he mixes them up? What if he mixes them up? He's got two buttons. And it's like, oh, Iran have started renewing their ballistic missiles program. Oh, fuck, fast. No, shit, that was supposed to be the absolutely one. Oh, no. World War III, that's how World War III starts. Is Iran starts fucking enriching their uranium again, and Trump responds with, yes, absolutely, but it's not fast. It's not fast enough, and Iran fires off their nuke. It's just a yes, definitely, but oh shit, I was supposed to go fast for the nuclear. Oh no. Fuck's sake.
From Channel 12 News. What are your plans regarding Gaza for the next few weeks?
Well, we're going to be dealing on Gaza. That's why this very great prime minister is here right now. We're talking about Gaza. We're talking about a lot of things. We have about 5 major subjects that we're discussing, and Gaza will be one of those subjects.
Mr. President, can you guarantee that the last hostages, Anne Philip, will be released before we continue to the second phase of the Gaza plan?
Well, let's put it this way. Every hostage just about that's been released was released because of me, Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, my whole team, Marco Rubio.
Not this guy.
Pete Hegseth, they were all released because of us.
Oh.
None were released in the Biden administration. None.
Oh. Not only were hostages released in the Biden administration, more hostages were released. Wait, it was 250. Wait. The November 2023 ceasefire, 115 were released. 50 odd of them died. And then there were the, 6 or something that were rescued. No, yeah, there were more that were released under Biden. What's he saying? None. Holy fuck. Man. Okay.
We're all released because of us. Then we had a lack of releases with respect to the dead. And all of a sudden they started coming back because they said, nope, you said you were going to. We have one wonderful young man whose parents are right now inside. And he's, what beautiful parents, a beautiful brother, sister, and like a beautiful family, and they're waiting for the son. It's the only one left, and we're doing everything we can to get his body back.
Oh, no, apparently it's not the first time that they've said this. There's a Snopes article about it. Oh, shit. Not a Snopes article. To the rescue. Yeah, 138. Holy fuck, man. And then you got like 50 plus who are dead. Yeah, Biden released more hostages. What the fuck? None. He's losing his marbles.
The parents just said, hopefully he's alive. And I said, I love you to think that way. Okay?
President
so
Trump.
Everything we can.
Do you have
President Trump,
Out of all of these people, and I'm not just talking about the final 20.
Right.
Look at all of the people. What do you think the total number is?
255.
255.
254 came out, one more.
Think of that. And we got them all.
President
Oh, they're
Trump.
talking about the Yazidi girl, right?
President
He's not, or he's definitely not going to.
Think of that. And we got them all.
President Trump. President Trump, does the reconstruction of Gaza, President Trump, does the reconstruction of Gaza, does the reconstruction of Gaza will begin even before Hamas is disarmed?
I think it's going to begin pretty soon, yeah.
Before Hamas is
He's
disarmed?
looking forward to it, so am I.
Fast.
Look, what a mess. What a mess it is. And it's been a mess for centuries, really. It's been a mess for a long time. It's seems to be born for that, but we're gonna straighten it out. No, we're already starting certain things. We're doing things for sanitary conditions and others. But Gaza's a tough place. You know the expression, it's a tough neighborhood. That's truly a tough neighborhood. Yeah, you had a question in the back? Go ahead. Yeah, please, go ahead.
I'll ask about the relationship between you and the Prime Minister.
What about it?
They said that there is
How is it fast?
good relationship between you.
I don't think it can be better. We just won a big war together. You know, if we didn't beat Iran, you wouldn't have had peace in the Middle East because nobody would have been able, the Arab countries who have been fantastic would not have been able to make a deal. If we didn't wipe out...
Everything is fucking hanging on a knife's edge right now. You've got the entire population of Gaza crammed into less than half of the space. Hamas don't want to disarm. So far, their favorite for the new leader is a guy who wants to keep fighting for until Israel fucking leaves. You've got another guy who has never wanted to disarm, or has never wanted to peace with Israel either. So you've got basically one maximalist and one even more maximalist. You've got Iran who are like, yeah, fuck you. We're still going to do our nuclear. What? We can do our nuclear. We're going to keep doing it. Fuck you. They're already operating, and there's more increased activity happening in the deepest mountain base in Iran, the one that wasn't even bombed. You've got Hezbollah not saying they want to disarm. You've got Syria, which is looking like it might go into a fucking internal combustion with Israel launching fucking soldiers over there, despite not being attacked by al-Shara, and despite al-Shara saying he doesn't want to fight with Israel. They're going over there anyway. You've got the fucking Druze who might try and secede from the country in Sweden. You've got fights between the SDF and the regime up in the fucking northeast. Dude. Peace in the Middle East,
Nuclear, we wiped it out. If we didn't wipe out with our beautiful B-2 bombers, if we didn't, and we sent a lot of Tomahawks in there also, by the way, from a submarine.
And what about the pardon that the President of Israel needs to give the Prime Minister?
A pardon? Oh, I think he will. How do you not? He's a wartime Prime Minister who's a hero. How do you not give a pardon?
Well, the country blames him for the war. For his complacent containment policy with Hamas. That's probably why. That guy doesn't exist. Thanks for the 5 gifties. Wow. And McNulty's Sober Companion. Thanks for the tier 1 sub. Wow. And ZJM. Thanks for the 5 gifties from earlier. Appreciate that. There's a new goal, by the way. New goal.
You know, I think it's a very hard thing not to do it. I spoke to the president, And it's on, I mean, he tells me it's on its way.
Mr.
You
President,
can't do better than that, right? Please.
Mr. President, can I follow up on Venezuela? Was the facility taken out by the U.S. military, or was it another entity like the CIA?
Well, I don't want to say that. I know exactly who it was, but I don't want to say who it was. But you know, it was along the shore.
Mr. President, have you or anyone in your administration talked to Maduro in recent days?
Well, I
Oh,
spoke to him
Maduro, oh no.
Recently?
pretty recently, but nothing much comes of it. Yeah.
Mr. President, can you explain the importance?
You have to understand what he's done. They've sent billions of dollars of drugs in. But maybe just as bad, they've sent hundreds of thousands of people in from jails, from prisons, from mental institutions and insane asylums. The drug lords, the drug dealers were all sent into our country. But think of it, what he's done. Tren de Aragua, probably the worst gang. They cut off people's fingers. One man made a phone call to complain about them. He cut off their hand. They cut off his hand. Don't ever make a phone call again. We'll cut off your other hand. After that, we'll kill you, they said. That was in Colorado. They sent in all of the bad ones. They sent in some bad people. And that to me was just terrible. And they send in drugs. Now, I will say this. 97% of the drugs coming in by sea stopped. We're trying to figure out who the other 3% are. They have a hard time getting people to pilot those
We're
boats.
trying to bomb the other 3. Fuck me.
But
remember, the big issue here, the fentanyl, it's from the United States. It's caught with fentanyl in the United States.
7% of the drugs coming in by the ocean, by the sea, by water, are gone. Every boat that we take out, we save 25,000 lives of Americans. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you.
God, that's a proportionality analysis, isn't it? Jesus.
We're going to have a big meeting, and we'll see you in a couple of hours if you'd like. And if you'd like, you can come up and have lunch like you did yesterday. Would you like that or not? Do you want that? Some of them think it's terrible. It's a bribe. But, you know, a bribe for $25, I don't know. If you'd like, you can go. And if you don't, you can stand in a driveway and melt. All right? But if you want, will you work on that, Margot? Yes, sir. Is Margot doing a good job? She's a star. She's too nice. Her only problem, she's too nice to you. And you're not nice to us, but that's okay. Margot, take them up and have a beautiful lunch. And we'll see you
He's
later.
so fucking salty about the press. Like, these were the most softball questions you could ever get asked. The only... did no one correct him on the fact that Biden had more hostages released than Trump did under his presidency? God, it's so stupid.
Are you worried that the alleged strike on Putin's residence could scuttle the peace?
Yeah, I don't like it. It's not good. I heard about it this morning. You know who told me about it? President Putin told me about it. Early in the morning, he said he was attacked. It's no good. It's no good. Don't forget, you know, the Tomahawks. I stopped the Tomahawks. I didn't want that. Because we're talking about, you know, it's a
Never would have
delicate period
happened if I were
of time.
president.
This is not the right time. It's one thing to be offensive, because they were offensive. It's another thing to attack his house. It's not the right time to do any of that, and can't do it. And I learned about it from President Putin today. I was very angry about it. What? Well, it came out. Well, we'll find out. I mean, you're saying maybe the attack didn't take place. It's possible too, I guess. But President Putin told me this morning it did.
One question, Mr. President. Can you expound on the importance of a strong relationship with the state of Israel? And Mr. Prime Minister, you called President Trump the strongest of Israel. You worked with numerous administrations, numerous presidents. Can you expound on that and what makes President Trump such a strong friend for the state of Israel?
Why don't you go first?
I'll say it again and again and again. We've never had a friend like President Trump in the White House. It's not even close. And I think you can judge that by the frequency of our meetings, but by the content and the intensity. I think Israel is very blessed. President Trump leading the United States, and I'll say it, leading the free world at this time. I think it's not really Israel's great fortune. I think it's the world's great fortune.
Well, I just want to say that it's very important who the Prime Minister...
Did he tariff Israel as well? think he did. But whatever.
And president of Israel is. We have a great relationship. It was an honor to speak before your leaders. That was a great honor for me. I think it has not happened before, or something they told me. But the relationship's been extraordinary, and Bibi's a strong man. He can be very difficult on occasion. But you need a strong man. If you had a weak man, you wouldn't have Israel right now. Israel would have been, you know, Israel with most other leaders would not exist today. They would not exist. And now they're stronger than ever. Yeah, please.
Are you going to ask Netanyahu to sign this agreement with Syria?
Well, I hope he's going to get along with Syria, because the new president of Syria is working very
He's
hard.
literally fucking capturing territory from Syria and shoving troops in and moving people out of their houses forcibly when al-Shara hasn't attacked them. He's just sitting there like, fuck me.
To do a good job. He really is. I know he's a tough cookie, and he's, you know, you're not going to get a choir boy to lead Syria. That's the one thing I would say. So I hope they're going to get along, because, you know, I dropped the sanctions on Syria because otherwise they wouldn't have had a chance. We want to see Syria survive. So we're going to be talking about Syria too. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good time. Go have a good lunch.
Thank you, Mr. President. Prime Minister Netanyahu.
Thank
There's
you.
a lot of facts regarding.
You know, after you hear these things, I think better to quit now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. He fucking hates getting asked questions by journalists, doesn't he? I've never seen someone so allergic to, I've never seen someone so allergic to getting asked questions than Netanyahu. Like the fact that he will just, like in Israel, that's all he does. He'll only give interviews to people who are going to glaze the shit out of him, right?
Okay, so we just got a bunch of Q&A.
At least Trump will like actually fight with the press and make a spectacle out of it. Netanyahu just avoids. He's terrified of them. What a miserable, miserable state. Ugh. It's slop o'clock. I can't believe it, guys. I cannot believe it. I just want one for the day, maybe two. Hassan gets trolled by a chatter, accidentally exposes his own chat in the process of responding. Oh.
In big trouble.
I know.
Hi, Marco.
Well done, Yeet. Good volume.
Apparently David Duke posted about you. Wait, is that why there's a bunch of random fucking losers in the chat being like, Jew, silence Jews or something? Is that what it is? I'm trolling.
Oh my god. Oh no. How the fuck, bro? What a fucking glorious end to the year, eh? I don't even think that chatter was. Were they like a troll, or how long does he go quiet there? Is that edited?
Is that what it is? I'm trolling.
Oh yeah, there it is. I'm trolling.
Trolling?
Is it because Zelensky was on screen?
In big trouble.
He just he just processes it and moves on. How long is that? How long of a pause is that? What a stupid fucking git.
No, is that what it is?
Alex Jones
I'm trolling.
was saying you.
Oh, so wait, why are there people saying "shut up, Jew" in your chat, looking weird and making you think that there's a David Duke raid?
In big trouble.
Moving on. Oh my god, I don't understand what's going on in this clip. Someone in his chat is saying here, apparently David Duke posted about you. Wait, is it the same person? Hang on, maybe Yeats fucked up here. Kooky lore.
Apparently David Duke posted about you. Wait, is that why there's a bunch of random fucking losers in the chat being like, Jew, silence Jews or something? Is that what it is? I'm trolling.
Oh, it's a different... It's a different person. Did David Duke actually... Does David Duke even have people anymore that would go into Hassan's Twitch chat? Hang on. Hmm. 28th. David Duke. Which one is David Duke? Is it David? No, that's the fucking Scottish guy. Hang on. David Duke Jr.? Which one is David Duke? Fuck me. He's been banned from Twitter in 2020. Is he still banned? Where did David Duke post about Hassan? I can't see anything on Twitter. What's in the replies? Let's see if there's any reply. Why? Okay. That chatter deserves an award. Got caught. Womp womp. Masterpiece. Sorry, but it's two different chatters. It wouldn't make much of a difference if David Duke had actually never posted about Hassan. Where? Unless it's a different. Unless both chatters said they were trolling. I don't know. That fucking awkward silence. Impaled by his own glider. Dude!
They're coming in right now. They're starting right now.
They're starting
You're
right
see
now.
them right now. Hold on, I can see it on the White House. They're coming in right now.
You people could come in. Come on over, fellas. We had a big meeting with a lot of people, a lot of talent.
Hold on.
From Israel and from the U.S.
Hold on.
I gifted on Twitch. Are you at 169 now or not? Hang on. Let's see. Just for you, eh? I don't think we're going to be at 169 unless you gifted a shitload.
I have a 16.
Stream manager. Oh, we're at 161. We had a hype train of... We had a level 1 hype train. Nice one, guys. It was 189 for the Frogan goal, but 161. 8 more subs on Twitch needed for 169. Anyway.
People could come in. Come on over, fellas. We had a big meeting with a lot of people, a lot of talent from Israel and from the U.S. And I think we came to a lot of conclusion.
Uh-oh.
A lot of conclusion and conclusions. And
he's so fucking decrepit, man. The state of this man.
Israel and from the U.S. And I think we came to a lot of conclusion. A lot of conclusion and conclusions. And there's very little difference.
25th Amendment.
And what we're looking at and where we want to be, where we want to go. And so I just spending time. I know you're going to be over here for a couple of days, and maybe we'll be surprising us on New Year's Eve. That'll be fine.
Oh, thank you.
And it's wonderful seeing you and Sarah and your whole group. Very talented group. We've done very good work together, and it'll continue. So thank you very much, Bibi.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have to say that in addition to what I said, that we've never had a friend, even close, a friend, as President Trump in the White House. I think he's been extraordinary in his friendship and his support for Israel, his principled positions, his willingness to just cut through and get to the essence of things. And I don't say that as a compliment. I just mean it. People have heard me say that behind your back, Mr. President, many times. But I want to say something else. I think we have a partnership, if I can quote you, second to none. I think it's allowed us to do enormous things. You know, people said there was a different conception at one time, which means that America can advance its interest in the Middle East if it opens a lot of daylight between it and Israel. And President Trump has done the exact opposite. He's achieved remarkable things in the Middle East because we work together. We talk about our ideas. Sometimes we have different ideas, but we work it out. And most of the time we see eye to eye. But it's been a remarkable experience, and this was a very, very productive meeting. And may I say a very good lunch. Thank you. Thank you for your friendship.
Thank you very much, Bibi.
And thank you for your support.
Thank
it's
you
from the heart.
for your service.
You know, as I said outside, he's been a wartime prime minister, and we were
well, look, I guess I could say I was a wartime president in more places than just Israel, if you think about it. But Israel was a big factor, and we're with you, and we'll continue to be with you. And a lot of good things are happening in the Middle East. We have peace in the Middle East, and we're going to try and keep it that way. I think we will be very successful in keeping it that way. And you've been a great friend, and I've been a great friend to you and to Israel. And it's been my honor. And the award that I was given was really surprising and very much appreciated.
Well, President Trump has broken so many conventions to the surprise of people, and then they figure out, oh, well, maybe he was right after all. So we decided to break a convention too, or create a new one, and that is to award the Israel Prize, which in almost our 80 years, we've never awarded it to a non-Israeli, and we're going to award it this year to President Trump. This was announced formally over lunch by our Minister of Education, who's responsible for the Israel Prize. It's going to be awarded to President Donald J. Trump for his tremendous contributions to Israel and the Jewish people. I think it's such a fitting thing, and it would honor us, obviously, Mr. President, if you could visit Israel in that occasion on our Independence Day. But I have to say that this reflects the overwhelming sentiment of Israelis across the spectrum. They appreciate what you've done to help Israel and to help our common battle against the terrorists and those who would destroy our civilization. So, again, that's an expression of thanks.
Our civilization.
And appreciation.
Thank you, Bibi, very much.
White America.
It's a great honor. Any questions, please? We'll go pretty quickly because pretty much we agree on most of the things, and you would know what most of those things are. Please, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to know if you and the Prime Minister talked about having Israel pull back its troops before Hamas fully disarms. I know that's been an issue. Did you push for that today?
Well, we talked about Hamas, and we talked about disarmament, and they're going to be given very short time to disarm, and we'll see how that works out.
What did I say? What did I say earlier? Deadline. They're going to be given a short amount of time. That sounds like a deadline. Ooh, baby, 50-50 type shit.
Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner will be in charge of that from our side. But if they don't disarm, as they agreed to do, they agreed to it, and then they'll be held to pay for them.
2 weeks.
And we don't want that. We're not looking for that. But they have to disarm within a fairly short period of time.
Is Israel withdrawing its forces?
Well, that's a separate subject. We'll talk about that.
Mr. President?
Yes.
Mr. President, do you have a message for the Prime Minister about the West Bank? And are you at all concerned that Israeli settler violence, could be undermining the peace plan?
Well, we have had a big discussion for a long time on the West Bank. And I wouldn't say we agree on the West Bank 100%. But we'll come to a conclusion on the West Bank.
If I could ask, what is the disagreement?
Well, I don't want to do that. It'll be announced at an appropriate time. But he will do the right thing. I know that. I know him very well. He will do the right thing.
That sounds like a solid 2 weeks.
There's a growing fear of a confrontation between Israel and Turkey. How are you going to ease this tension given the fact that President Erdogan calls Mr. Netanyahu Hitler and compares Israel to the Nazis?
Well, I know President Erdogan very well. And as you all know, he's a very good friend of mine. And I believe that, and I do respect him, and Bibi respects him. And they're not going to have a problem. They're not going to have a problem. I know him very well. And you've seen me do things with President Erdogan and Turkey that nobody else could have done. We're not going to have a problem. He's done a fantastic job. I'm with him all the way. I'm with Bibi all the way. Nothing's going to happen. Yes.
Mr. President, are you concerned that Israel is not moving quickly enough to phase 2 of the peace plan?
Well, I'm not concerned about anything that Israel's doing. I'm concerned about what other people are doing or maybe aren't doing. But I'm not concerned. They've lived up to the plan. They're strong. They're solid. And sometimes they don't understand when somebody violates something that you want to give them a second chance. Well, we'll give them a couple of second chances. But no, Israel's lived up to the plan 100%. Don't forget, we made the plan possible by taking out Iran. And speaking of Iran, I hope they're not trying to build up again.
I think that had nothing to do with the plan, but okay.
And because if they are, we're going to have no choice but very quickly to eradicate that buildup. So I hope Iran is not trying to build up, as I've been reading, that they're building up weapons and other things. And if they are, they're not using the sites that we obliterated, but they're using possibly different sites. We know exactly where they're going, what they're doing. And I hope they're not doing it because we don't want to waste the fuel on a B-2. It's a 37-hour trip both ways. I don't want to waste a lot of fuel.
Fucking chuckle there. That's a lot of
Your
fuel.
last remarks regarding the pardon request of Prime Minister Netanyahu. Hertog, the office told us that you have not talked after the official request of Prime Minister Netanyahu pardon. Can you clarify to us? Did you talk about it?
Which request are you talking about?
With the President Herzog, the Israeli President Herzog. Did you talk with him directly?
President Erdogan?
Herzog. The Israeli President.
So you're talking about pardon?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you got to say that. No, I think he's going to be in great shape. He's a wartime prime minister at the highest level. He's achieved tremendous success. And I'll say it, if you had 8 out of 10 prime ministers in his position right now, or before right now, maybe, you wouldn't have Israel any longer. Israel would not exist.
Oh, you're saying that
I'd
again.
say two of them would, and 8 of them wouldn't. Those are not good odds. You needed a very special man to...
What's he talking about there?
Really carry through and really help Israel through this horrible jam. These are major factions, and it started with our negotiation with Iran. I think it probably started with Soleimani That was really where you mentioned that today, which started with Soleimani. Bad guy, doing bad things, hurting a lot of people, killing American soldiers and other
He still wants to make it about his strike on Soleimani. Okay.
soldiers. But it started right there, would probably be the starting point. And then from that point forward, but you would...
Soleimani was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys. That's Trump's corn pop.
A wartime prime minister at the highest level. There could be other wartime prime ministers, but they'd lose. He won. And I think the people of Israel appreciate it. I think a lot of the people in the world appreciate it, actually. And because of that victory, we were able to get peace in the Middle East. If you had a different kind of a personality, if you had a weak person or a stupid person, and there are plenty of both of them, you would not have had success, and you might not have Israel. And you report for Israel. I know you're very proud of it, and you do a great job. You might not have a job because there might not be an Israel right now if you had a different prime minister. That's a big statement, but to me, it's a very simple statement.
You might not have a job because you'd have been bombed. What the? Because you'd all be dead. Kind of a job if you're dead. Jesus, he is so cooked.
I'm looking at Pete Hegseth, and he's sort of nodding. If they don't have a strong prime minister, Pete, you might not have Israel today. I think he'll go down in the record books. And, you know, I was a big help. I'll be honest with you, big help. Somebody said in the room, if you don't have Trump, you needed a proper combination of everything. And if you didn't have that combination, which they had, you would not have an existing Israel right now. And the people of Israel know it. That's why they like me, and it's why they actually like him. He's got a little bit of a love-hate more than I do over there. But you know what? Even the haters have a lot of respect for him. There's a lot of jealousy about him.
Yeah?
Is he talking about true promise?
Don't know. What's that?
You know, the missile barrage from Iran? Is that why he's saying that Israel wouldn't exist today?
Well, he mentioned Soleimani first, and then he's also saying because Netanyahu is a strong leader, and if he wasn't, Israel wouldn't exist. But he might be talking about Iran as well, yeah, because of the nuclear.
I'm so confused about what exactly he means by Israel wouldn't exist if Bibi wasn't there.
Yeah, it's just fucking because he thinks it's like whatever, the hard man who creates the good times. That's it. He thinks a Uyghur prime minister would have just let October 7th continue all the way through Israel, and I don't know. It's just nonsense. It's just fucking puffing. That's all it is. Just inane puffing.
Yeah.
There's no logic behind it.
Because he keeps reiterating it, and usually when he reiterates it, he actually believes it. So it's a bit weird.
Yeah,
usually
someone probably just told him that. Probably someone this morning told him that, and he's just been repeating it the whole day.
So Bibi just kept saying it over and over, and now he's saying it over and over.
There's literally no logic behind it, because if he's saying that, because he'll say to Biden that October 7th wouldn't have happened if Trump were president. It happened because Biden was president. But somehow you won't lay the same accusation at Netanyahu. Wouldn't someone say that if someone else was prime minister, October 7th wouldn't have happened in Israel, given that it's closer to Gaza than America is? But yeah, he's a retard. He's a bumbling retard. That's it.
Okay. All right. That's so
simple as tea and biscuits.
Because when he says shit like that, it makes me wonder if something happened in the background that nobody knows about. When he keeps saying things like that, it makes me think about they have some intel that nobody knows about except for obviously governments.
I'm gonna say definitely not. No. What intel would you have to know that, okay, what if Bennett or Gallant or fucking whatever the fuck, or Gantz or Golan, if any of these guys were in power, then what, Israel would have been destroyed, not to reserve it? It doesn't make any sense. It's nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
Okay.
Gimmick.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
A lot of jealousy. Jealousy is a bad word. But I believe you would not have Israel right now, so it's a big deal. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, a recent poll showed that as half of Gazans would be willing to leave the Gaza Strip if afforded the opportunity to do so. Back in February, you said that all Gazans would be.
I heard that number today. Half of Gaza would leave. I've always said it. I said if they were given the opportunity to live in a better climate, They would move. They're there because they sort of have to be. I think it would be a great opportunity. But let's see if that opportunity presents itself. But we're helping the people of Gaza a lot. So is Israel, by the way. So we'll see what happens. But I saw that there was a poll. It was actually more than half the people would leave if they were given the opportunity. And I've been saying that for a long time. To me, it was common sense. So it's interesting.
Why wouldn't countries accept them?
Look, let's not talk about it because we don't want the controversy. Right now, we're helping Gaza. But if they were given the opportunity, I think even higher than that, the group that did the poll is usually, I call them negative pollsters. You have a lot of them. And yet this poll was, I think, very accurate, other than it would be more than half the people if given the opportunity. But they haven't been given that opportunity. So we'll see what happens.
Have you reached
2 weeks, 2 weeks. Remember, the Trump peace plan, the 20-point plan, rules out forced expulsion. So again, it's like the voluntary thing really only works if they get to go to a country that they'd like to go to, or at least like a top 3 or some shit, which again, they're not going to do. So shit.
Point of understanding regarding Syria.
We do have an understanding regarding Syria. Now, with Syria, your new president, I respect him. He's a very strong guy, and that's what you need in Syria. You can't put a choir boy. You can't put somebody that's a perfect person. Everything's nice, no problems in life. You have the opposite there. He's a strong guy. We get along with him great. I can't ask for any more. He's been with us all the way. We had that mishap with ISIS, and he was with us all the way. He was fighting us. He was fighting them. So I hope I'm sure that Israel and him will get along. I will try and make it so that they do get along. I think they will. Bibi, do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, well, our interest is to have a peaceful border with Syria. Our interest is to have, and we openly say it, we want to make sure that the border area right next to our border is safe. We don't have terrorists, we don't have attacks. And we also want to secure our Druze friends. And by the way, I think not only the Druze, but other minorities, especially the Christians, should be protected as well in Syria and throughout the Middle East and in Nigeria. In your efforts, we back completely because Christian communities are beleaguered around the world and especially in the Middle East, but in parts of Africa too. And we stand for the same thing.
And don't forget, it was President Erdogan that helped very much get rid of a very bad ruler of Syria. That was President Erdogan. And he never wanted the credit for it, but he really gets a lot of credit. Bibi agrees with that. I agree with it. I mean, I know it. And President Erdogan should get a lot of good credit for what he did. He got rid of some very bad people. And, they've been wanting to do that for 1,000 years with different names, but for 1,000 years in Syria. President Erdogan did it, and we give him a lot of credit. I give him a lot of credit. But I think it's going to work out well between Syria and Israel.
Why does he keep saying hundreds of years, 1,000 years? What, 1,000 years they've been trying to get rid of the president of Syria? What? I mean, they've had a lot of coups. They are a very coup-laden country, but that's mostly after independence. Okay.
Mr. President, about Lebanon.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'll talk to Adi when we're done here, yeah.
Government, so what we saw is not meeting the terms of the ceasefire agreement, has failed to disarm Hezbollah, actually. In your view, should Israel strike the terrorist organization again?
Well, we're going to see about that. We'll see about it. The Lebanese government is at a little bit of a disadvantage, if you think of it, with Hezbollah. But Hezbollah has been behaving badly, so we'll see what happens.
Also with another operation of Israel in Iran. You said before the meeting with Netanyahu that you are in support of Israel if the ballistic missile project will take on and also the nuclear weapon. But after the meeting, after what you know from the intelligence, how close are we to another war with Iran?
Well, I don't want to say that, but Iran may be behaving badly. It hasn't been confirmed, but if it's confirmed, look, they know the consequences. Consequences will be very powerful, maybe more powerful than the last time. Yeah. And Iran should have made a deal the last time.
Am I mental, or would you not just rather let the protesters do their thing? Like, if it's an economic downturn, if it's hyperinflation, or at least on the brink of hyperinflation, and the regime is really unpopular, wouldn't you like to just let the protesters do it? Because obviously there's nothing worse than there's a bunch of protesters against the government and then another country bombs the country and then protesters might start rallying around the fucking leaders. Like, it's so stupid.
Then the option. I said, you can make a deal. Do it. I told them, do it. And they didn't believe me. Now they believe me.
Do you have evidence that Iran is behaving badly? And what do you mean by that?
This is just what we hear. But usually where there's smoke, there's fire. Have you heard the expression?
Wow.
Related to the nuclear capability?
That's so reassuring. Where there's smoke, there's fire, guys. Don't forget. Okay.
Not nuclear yet, but maybe nuclear too. The sites were obliterated, but they're looking at other sites. That's what I've heard. They're looking. So it'll take a long time.
That is true. They are going. There is another site that wasn't bombed that is deeper than Fordo, where there has been increased activity, as captured by satellite footage. But what they're doing there, I'm not actually sure. And I don't think. I feel like Trump doesn't know.
They're not going to go back to where they were, but they have other places they can go. And if they're doing that, they're making a big mistake. Yeah, please. There's no reason for them to do it.
Mr. President, is the United States currently open to engaging in bilateral discussions with Tehran? We're hearing reports from numerous countries that there may be some discussions. Is that something you would support, or
Yeah,
something that is
I would.
You
Sure.
would support that?
I would, yes.
Right now. Thank you, sir.
I have been, by the way, before the war, I would support that. I said to him, Bibi, I said, let's negotiate. And they didn't believe what was going to happen would happen. Yes, ma'am.
Doing naval exercises basically to test encircling Taiwan. Can you explain to us what your
2
knowledge
weeks.
is of that? What do you think about that? Have you had any discussions with China
Well, I have a
about
great
that?
relationship with President Xi, and he hasn't told me anything about it. I certainly have seen it, but he hasn't told me anything about it, and I don't believe he's going to be doing it. No, nothing worries me.
But
Nothing.
you said where there's smoke, there's fire, right? So if you're encircling, if you're doing naval exercises and air
I've
exercises.
been doing naval exercises for 20 years in that area.
Uh-huh.
Now people take it a little bit differently, but in fact, larger than they're doing right now. So we'll see. But they've been doing that for 20, 25 years. Yeah.
Mr. President, if you don't see
I
Hamas,
don't think practice blockades are with that level of regularity is not very common.
Disarm in that short amount of time they're giving them. Can you tell us what the next steps would be?
Wait, who did you say disarming?
This is for 20 years in that area. Now people take it a little bit differently, but in fact, larger than they're doing right now. So we'll see. But they've been doing that for 20, 25 years. Yeah.
Mr. President, if you don't see Hamas disarm in that short amount of time they're giving them, can you tell us what the next steps would
It'll
be?
be horrible for them.
Jesus.
Horrible. It's going to be really, really bad for them. And I don't want that to happen. But they made an agreement that they were going to
Fast.
disarm. And you couldn't blame Israel. By the way, we have other countries that will come in and do it. They said, let us do it for you if they don't. Countries that were with them wanted
No,
the
they
deal to be
didn't.
made, agreed that they would disarm. And now if they say they're going to
No,
disarm.
they didn't. No other country has said we're going to go in and fight with Hamas until they disarm. No one said that. They've said they want to go in and help rebuild, not they want to go and fight with Hamas. What's he talking about? He's just making shit up, makey uppies.
That's fine. If they say they're not going to disarm, those same countries will go and wipe them out. They don't even need Israel. You know, we have many countries, 59 countries that are in agreement. This is a real peace in the Middle East.
59 countries who support a future for Gaza without Hamas. Not 59 countries that are going to go and fight with it. He's such a moron. I think he genuinely believes that as well. I don't think that's a lie. I think he actually believes that the Arab and Muslim countries endorsing a future for Gaza without Hamas and rebuilding, he thinks that means they're going to go and fight with Hamas. Really? Dude, no, they're not going to do that.
And Hamas is a small part of it, but it's still a part of it. But we have 59 countries that signed on, big countries, countries that are outside of the Middle East, as you know the Middle East. They want to go in and wipe out Hamas. They don't want Israel. They don't need Israel. They want to do it because it's the right thing to do, because they were for the deal based on the fact that Hamas pledged, they swore that they were going to disarm. Now, if they're not going to disarm, those same countries will wipe out
Hamas never swore they were going to disarm. He's out of his fucking mind. Is Trump just going to learn the hard way that Hamas doesn't want to disarm and just bomb them himself? We're going to get B2s over Gaza. Jesus. Also, one more sub for the goal, guys. One more super chat for the goal. 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
President Trump, do you think that the PA should be involved the day after in Gaza Strip, even in the near future? And the same question to Prime Minister Netanyahu.
Good question.
Do you see a real opportunity that the PA will be in Gaza?
Go ahead, Bibi.
I think President Trump put clearly the conditions of reform that he wants to see in the PA for them to be involved. And I think he put it very clearly what he wants to see, the kind of real reforms, not just perfunctory reforms, but real reforms. Stop data slay, change the curriculum in your textbooks, open up a different society and a different future if they do it.
59 countries are going to fight Hamas and Hamas is going to pay for it.
Well, let them, I think it was clear. He put guidelines that were, by the way, in the Trump plan of 2020. And they were put then in the 20 points. And it's up to them.
Remember this, if we didn't do what we did to Iran, just to make the subject just slightly different, you wouldn't have peace in the Middle East. You wouldn't have a deal signed in the Middle East. You wouldn't have a deal. Because other Arab nations, which are great people, I know them very well, I know them, they're great people, they wouldn't be able to have agreed to peace in the Middle East because you would have had a dark cloud hanging over everything. It wouldn't have been possible. So Iran has been greatly reduced in power, prestige. I don't want to use the word humiliation because, they're trying to build up again. But we can't let them build up because if they build up, they can't be peace in the Middle East. It was a mistake. When they wiped out Iraq and Iran were about the same power. And
someone was onto this. This video was timely. This was 4 days ago. The protest started yesterday. How Iran's economy and shadow fleet are collapsing. I forgot about this. The tankers being seized. That I read that was going to affect. That obviously was going to affect the other tankers and the journeys that they were going to take. And how much they were going to continue trading. Huh. This guy, this History of Everything podcast, on it.
Fought each other with different names for 1,000 years. And then our country came out and blew up one of those two countries, namely Iraq. And all of a sudden, Iran had the whole Middle East all to itself. But that's not true anymore. That's not true anymore.
Can you tell us something about your plan? Tell us something about your plan to expand Abraham Accords. If you can tell us something about your plan to expand Abraham Accords.
Well, the Abraham Accords are a great achievement of Jared and everybody. I mean, it was one of the great achievements. They'll be expanded. Countries are already talking about expanding it, and they'll be expanded fairly quickly. Yeah, please.
Is it still on the table? The normalization?
Saudi Arabia is great. We have a great leader, and a friend of mine, and a friend of a lot of people. Also an enemy of some people, but those people aren't doing so well. No, Saudi Arabia has been very good, as far as I'm concerned. They've done everything that we can ask for.
But normalization with Israel is on the
They're
table?
getting along great with Israel. They will. And at some point, they'll sign the Abraham Accords.
So one of the big domestic tasks ahead of you is to pick a new chairman for the Fed.
Yeah.
You've said that you have one favorite, but you're
I
also
do.
doing interviews.
Still
so
do. Hasn't changed. Yeah, I'll announce them at the right time. There's plenty of time.
Is
But
there
in the
any
meantime, we're doing numbers that nobody's ever seen. We have $18 trillion coming in. We had a 4.3% GDP. They thought it was going to be 2%. And that's despite the Democrat shutdown. Had the shutdown not occurred, we would have had an extra point and a quarter. Think of that. We are doing, and also despite the fact that we have...
Excuse me while I do my Trump rally, my MAGA Trump rally. How many trillions? Wait. He's so full of shit, man. Where does he... I don't even know. Normally when these numbers come out, it's like, oh yeah, you can see where they got it from, even though it doesn't make any sense. Where the fuck does $18 trillion coming in? Where does that come from? Has he just like added up the GDP of every country that said, please don't tariff us or some shit? I don't know, man. I don't know.
A fool at the Federal Reserve. I mean, Biden reappointed him. It's too bad. You would have thought he wouldn't have done that. But he's an absolute fool who's building a new Federal Reserve, or he's doing a renovation of a building. Maybe he's up to $4.1 billion to do a renovation of a few very small buildings. It's the highest price in the history of construction. He's spending more money than any building has ever spent per square foot on the renovation of, as an example, I'm doing a magnificent, big, beautiful ballroom that the country has wanted, the White House has wanted for 150 years.
They haven't.
It's a massive job, and it's a tiny fraction of that number. And we're under budget and ahead of schedule. Now, it's bigger than I told you. It's after realizing we're going to do the inauguration in that building, it's got all bulletproof glass. It's got all drone, they call it drone-free roof. So drones won't touch it. It's a big, beautiful, safe building. It's a big project for a tiny fraction of that. We're under budget and ahead of schedule, and they've wanted it for 150 years. Think of it: the Federal Reserve building, 2 buildings there. They don't know what they're doing. They're way over budget. I mean, almost. This was built during the Biden administration, and I wrote by it the other day, and it's headed by the head of the Federal Reserve. Too late,
We're talking about renovating a building that's obviously very old, like he just said, versus building a fucking ballroom. Oh my God.
Too late because he's always too late with interest rates, except before the election. He was too early because that would have helped. That was supposed to help get her elected. It had no impact. We won all 7 swing states. But no. We're thinking about bringing a suit against Powell for incompetence. Because think of it, these aren't outstanding buildings. These are small buildings. He said $4 billion more. It's going to end up costing more than $4 billion. $4 billion. It's the highest price of construction. Again, Democrats. Highest price of construction per square foot in the history of the world. There's never been. Gorgeous monuments are built for a much smaller price. So we're thinking about bringing a gross incompetence, what's called gross incompetence lawsuit. It's gross incompetence against Powell. And it was his baby. And the guy's just incompetent. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. He's just a very incompetent man. But we're going to probably bring a lawsuit against him. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. Bibi, congratulations.
When do you expect an announcement then on Powell's replacement?
January sometime.
And will you ask Jay Powell to resign from the board entirely?
Again, it's just fucking Bibi avoiding, just so happy to not be getting any questions at all. Also, speaking of, we have a new one to the list. That we have a Fauda cameo, actually. We have Doron from Fauda, who also thinks that the Iranians give a fuck what they have to say.
The Iranian people have a glorious past, and they can have an even more glorious future. That future depends on each and every one of you. So to all the brave men and women now rising up across your country, all the nations of the free world stand with you in your just struggle. Change is possible. There will be a better Middle East.
Wow. So encouraging. Okay. Subscribe, you fucking assholes. I mean, sorry.